Hello student, good morning. Long back we are meeting once again. Today I am recalling the ninth standard topic once again. Already so many months are over. So many things you are been forgotten that can be recaptured once again. I think you are been safe at home and also you are caring of your health properly because of you want to learn or study more and now for the 10th standard. Therefore, I am blessing you be a very healthy and safe at home. Therefore, in our school, we are conducting the mobile coaching for the student who is staying and make them to help for the coming classes. Okay. Therefore, we are giving some recalling topic of ninth standard. I take the subject of that is a topic of history, sir. Now you already know that in history the first topic is Christianity and Islam. The Christianity, how it is rises. Christianity first, it starts on the first century. You know that, or know that the Christianity started in first century. That is first started in the region of Palestine. It belonged to the Roman Empire, and like that it is spread. Now Christianity, you know, already know that Christianity was started by the Jesus Christ, or established by the Jesus Christ. Now you know about the Jesus livelihood, how he born, where he grew. You know that Jesus was born in Bethlehem, okay, and after some when he is a child, he lost his parents and he is grown from his uncle. He learned so many things of trade activities, but he have thinking that I want to do something. Therefore, he sit in a cave and for the meditation for a long time, sir. In one day, he get some enlightenment that God said that you want to establish a new religion. That that give a inspiration to start a new religion. That new religion is called as Christianity. That new religion was started by Jesus. Jesus Christ established the new religion. That new religion is called a Christianity. That Christianity was the kings, so many kings of the Roman Empire, they are not interested to take a new religion. Some drawbacks will happen to the Jesus, and he taken so many scolds from the kings and another. But some of the public, they think this is a new religion is benefited to us. Therefore, they are becoming followers of Jesus. And first, he started in his place, okay, to the Christianity. In that Christianity, it has his own principle. That principles is not to give a trouble to anyone and follow the truth life. Okay, lead a life of sincere and helping nature. These are the main common principle adopted in a new religion that is called the Christianity. Therefore, Jesus not only spreading in his place that is called Judea, and he decided to spread the new religion that is called the Christianity to far places of Roman. But when he started this, so many followers are become to him. Now he had a 12 disciples. With their help of 12 disciples means followers. With the help of them, he is migrating from one place to another place to spread the new religion that is called the Christianity. That main intention means non-violence, truth, okay, not hatredness. These principles, and he also give a teach how we want to be sacrifice our life and to get good things in our life. These all things he was spreading with the help of new religion, that is Christianity. Like that, the Roman Empire, the kings are being they are not ready to accept the new religions of Jesus Christ. Therefore, they decided him to make a crucified. But he is silently, that also he is taken on the one day, a fresh day of the Friday, he was crucified in a Rome. After he is dead, okay, his followers or his disciples, they are enriched the new religion that is called the Christianity. Like this, you know that the principle you are learned, the teaching of Jesus you learn, and you are given the answer for that also. Okay, like that, another new religion that is called Islam. This also equally to start with the new religion of Jesus, that is Christianity. Like that, Islam also, it is followed in a Arabian country. This new religion, that is Islam, was started by Muhammad Paigambar. Muhammad Paigambar was one of the prophet, and he also belonged to the poor family. He also very honest man, and he is every day to pray the God, and he is going on like that. One day he got enlightened. Then he said that God, he said that you want to start that new religion. That new religion is called as Islam. Islam means surrender to the God. Okay, that new religion is called Islam. Islam is going on like this. The first it is started in Mecca. That Muhammad Paigambar started his new religion in Mecca. He also gets so many blames and so many bad, false things happens on his life. Therefore, he left the Mecca and gone to the Medina. And there, the king in Medina gave a shelter to him, and he spread a new religion there. And there he got so many followers in Medina, and his principle, his teaching adopted by the Medina's people and the king, this enriched like this the new religions of Islamic born. Like this you all learn so many teaching and principles. I cannot recall all the things. Main point I will tell. Okay, this is the first chapter we learn. Next we come to the medieval India. That is, medieval India means Rajputians. How the Rajputs ruled in Rajasthan, Mewar, okay, like that. Their dynasty also splitted so many dynasties like a Solonkis or Chauhans, okay, and like that they all belong to the Rajputians. They ruled in so many areas. In meantime, the Rajput, the dead enemies are called, who is the Delhi Sultan and even the Mughals. The dead enemies of the, who is that, Rajput are Mughals. Mughals made so many wars on the Rajput. But in that, the greatest and top king of this period is Prithviraj Chauhan. Chauhan made so many wars with the Mughals, even the Bijapur Sultans, and even the Delhi Sultans, and so many are dead enemies. In that he faced and become a very good king in the history of India. Okay, like that Solankis and all some petty rulers also ruled and give a hand to the Prithviraj Chauhan, and even that who is that Delhi Sultan given the Khilji dynasty, and so many rulers are given more trouble to the Prithviraj Chauhan. In that also he made so many terrain wars. You know that terrain wars. He made terrain wars with them. Like this, the medieval time, they are socially, economically, educationally, in art, architecture, social life, they are leading with that happily. This is the medieval times of India. Next, we go to the next chapter that is called as what is that called? That religious promoter and social reformers. Religious means you come to know that religious. Religious means naturally you got the name of Acharyas, Shankaracharyas, Ramanuja, Madhvacharya, okay, and your Basavannas. They all fight for the give a good thought or path to the Indian people, because in meantime the Muslims are forcefully making the what converted our people, and we are going for the that types of path that should be a control. Therefore these acharya, Shankaracharya, Ramanujacharya, Madhvacharya, Basavanna, they were fight for these activities. Now, not only they are religious people, but also socially they do so many works for us. You know that Shankaracharya belonged to one of the persons of Kerala. Okay, and in the age of 5, he is left the home and become a sannyasi. And he learned the Veda, Upanishad, and guide the people which way we want to go, how we get the salvation. Salvation means mukti. What path we want to adapt to get the muktis. This way he is promote the people going for the salvation way. With the help of, he said, his philosophy is called Advaita philosophy. In that Advaita philosophy, he teach follow the truth and be honest and go for the path of a good. Then we get the mukti. Mukti is the end of our life, it shows. With that we want to get the mukti, we go in a good manner. And he had so many followers. That followers also, one of the, they also come in the way of Shankaracharya. And meantime, Shankara toured whole nook and corner of India, from Kanyakumari to Jammu and Kashmir. In there, he said his teaching to the people, to Hinduism, and the path of truth, salvation, and his philosophy like a Advaita philosophy. In Advaita philosophy, be honest, be truth, go in a path, good path, you reach the God. There is no differences between the God and the human being. God and the human being is the I, my soul is one. I am Brahma. He said, I am God, Brahma. The God is not a different, or I am not a different. I am the God. That is called as I am Brahma. That was said by the Shankaracharya. Like this, Shankara wrote so many books. Okay, Gita Bhashya, Saundarya Lahari. Okay, these are so many works written by the Shankaracharya. That it should be written in a Sanskrit language, and also he teach the so many people about the Sanskrit language, and they spread the Hinduism nook and corner of India. Okay, in that critical stage also Shankara lead his life like that. Okay, to enrich the Hindu religion. In meantime, after the Shankaracharya, Ramanuja also one of the saint. Okay, he also, Ramanuja, he is from Tamil Nadu. And he also, at the age of small childhood, he left the house. After his, Ramanuja also one of the saint of Tamil Nadu. He worked as a priest in a Kali temple, goddess's temple, the Durga. There in Sri Shailam, he was humiliated by the peoples, okay, that he cannot take this, the words from these people. He left Sri Shailam and come to the Karnataka, and he stayed in Karnataka with the shelter of the Hoysala dynasty. Bitti Deva, that is called Vishnuvardhana, give a shelter to him. And he said, he means Ramanuja said that I want to create a one temple. That temple is Channakeshwara. For that, Raja Vishnuvardhana helped, means he erected a temple that is called the Channakeshwara temple in Melukote. Nowadays we are seeing that in Melukote, Chanakeshwara temple is there. That temple was preached by the Ramanujacharya, and he also followed the Dvaita philosophy, Ramanuja Visishta Dvaita. And in this Visishta Dvaita, he said the God is separate, human being is separate. God and human beings, we want to be inculcated with the God. We want to go in the path of truth. That path was taught by the Ramanuja to the local people. Okay, in his Sanskrit language, he wrote so many books. Gita Bhashya is one of the very good famous book of the Ramanujacharya. By this, he had so many followers. Even Raja also followed the path of means Ramanuja principles, and he also enriched the Visishtadvaita philosophy in his country or in his court. Like this, Ramanuja's Visishtadvaita is came. Next to the Madhvacharya, a famous saint of our India is Madhvacharya. He is belonged to the Udupi. Madhvacharya constructed so many temples. In 7 temples, in 7 waves, matas was created. Okay, even today the matas are there. You know that one of the Udupi is one of the matas of Madhvacharya. In that mata Madhvacharya stayed, and he teach the principles. He teach his principle, own way of the principle, that is Dvaita philosophy. God and the human being are different. This world is Maya, illustration was said by the Madhvacharya. For this Maya Loka, we want to go in a path of truth. That truth, how we can be get? By the devotion. By the devotion only we are going for the truthful path. That was said by the Madhvacharya. He had so many followers in Udupi, and he is gone for the debating. He defeated so many scholars in his great debate. Okay, and he traveled from nook and corner of India so many times, and each his mata was enriched with the Bhakti Panth. So many followers, so many students was developed by Madhvacharya, by his principle, by his teaching. All was impressed and follow with him. Like this, Madhvacharya teach his philosophy and enrich the Hinduism in his own way. Like that, you know that another fellow, the great man, that is called Basavanna. Even today we are being celebrated and we are remembering the great worker, socialistic and the religious minded, who is called a Basavanna, who is called Basaveshwara. Basaveshwara also comes in the 12th century. Basaveshwara was one of the, is not as called as saint, but he is one of the social reformers and religious reformer. He is not giving more importance to the religion. Religion is nothing. It won't give anything. We want to go for the Bhakti Marga and be truth. Okay, non-violence was said by the Basavanna. Basavanna worked as one of the treasurer in the in a Bijala dynasty. There his honesty was misused by his Bijala dynasty. They sent away from his courtyards, and he left the Bijala dynasty and gone to the Kudala Sangama and gathered the so many followers, and he started his Lingayata Dharma. With this Lingayata Dharma, he teach the people that follow the truth and go in a good manner, good path, and we want to be encouraged with our religion, that is Hinduism. Okay, on that time also he is getting so many hatredness and all, but he don't care. And he is giving equal to the all the caste. There is no differentiation in caste in Hinduism. All are equal. Even Chamara also, who is cobbler also, equal to the Brahmin. Naturally, Basavanna is also one of the Brahmin. He is not willing to be a thread fellow. He left the home and come to be, and he taken a Lingayata Diksha by Guru. With the help of his Guru, he started propagated the Lingayatas. And therefore, he had so many followers. He wanted to do some social work. Therefore, he built a Anubhava Mantapa. Anubhava Mantapa means one of the a common people and all the scholars, intelligent peoples, all sit together and talk about the social work and what types of the social work we want to do for the Indian people. That activities are going on that hall that is called as Anubhava Mantapa. In Anubhava Mantapa, he had the followers of Allama Prabhu, okay, and so many followers he had. They are giving the guidance to the Basavanna. Like that, he want to remove the casteism from our South India. For that, he fight lot with his follower. That was successful by Basavanna. There is no differentiation of caste in Hinduism. That was enriched by the Basavanna. Like this, we learn the previous years. Now, come to the next chapter, means that is the feudalism, medieval Europe, how the feudalism came into existence, how these European was tortured by the noble people to the local people, that is called agriculture people, how they are fight and how they are taken the problem by the noble peoples. And these are the things we are learned from in a medieval European period, that is called a middle period, and that 8th century, that is called a dark age in Europe. With the help of Renaissance or with the help of the thinkers, okay, intelligent, there is feudalism will change. The enlightenment takes place in a Europe, that is called as a feudalism. In this feudalism, how the farmers are treated by the zamindars and middlemans, noble, that can be learned in a feudalism. What is the disadvantage? Advantages of feudalism we are learning in that chapter. After next to that, we come across the Vijayanagar Empire. The Vijayanagar and the Bahmani Sultans. You know that Vijayanagar means very important dynasty and enriched dynasty of our South India is Vijayanagar dynasty. Vijayanagar dynasty was ruled, this dynasty was started by Hakka-Bukka. They all belong to the Sangama dynasty. The Vijayanagar dynasty was divided into 4 dynasties, that is called Sangama, Aravidu, Tuluva, like that the dynasty was expanded. With these dynasty, the first one is Sangama dynasty. The Sangama dynasty was started by Hakka-Bukkas. With the help of Hakka-Bukka, they made the Hampi is the capital of their dynasty. That dynasty is called the Vijayanagar dynasty in the 336 AD. It is the worldwide dynasties nowadays, okay. It was ruled by these 4 dynasty peoples. Now, the Vijayanagar was ruled by Hakka-Bukka. With the help of their guru, they started Hampi as their capital and they built a Virupaksha temple there. With the help of Virupaksha temple, they are giving more importance to the learning activity in temples. And their architecture glory, we can come to know that, and how the Sangama dynasty ruled, like that Aravidu dynasty was ruled, and Devaraya first, Devaraya second, how they are giving equalities of religion, Hindu and Muslim. In Devaraya ruling time, he was giving more importance about the Muslims. First, he want to start his work with Sabha. First, he reads the Muslims' Quran, Bhagavad Gita. He pray with the Muslims. Like that, unity is created in the time of Devaraya, Hindu and Muslim. He tightened the religions of Hindu, Muslim, and also he giving a equality to both the religion. In his office or in his darbar, maximum Muslims are there. Muslim officers are there. Okay, and with them he is administrated. In his army also, so many Muslims peoples are working. Okay, like that, he maintained the unity with the Hindu and Muslim. And meanwhile, their festival style, he also following the, in meantime, in the festival time, also he is with them. He joined with them. Okay, in Ramzan, in Eid time, he also joined with them and he also celebrated the festival. These Muslim also join with the Hindu festival like a Holi, Diwali, and so many festivals, join together, eat together, enjoy with the plums. Like this, the Aravidu dynasty. Next, Tuluva dynasty. Tuluva dynasty means you come to know that our great ruler Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya enriched or still tightened the Hinduism and the Vijayanagar dynasty, because in his time he was very small. When he came to the power, he is very small, a young boy. Behalf of him, his minister look after the administration of Vijayanagar. One side the Bahmani Sultan giving it trouble, another side Mughals, another invaders. Invaders means their Arab people enter the India, and like this lot of problems in that situation. The Vijayanagar is there. There the born was Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya, when he came to this power, he is given equality both Hinduism and Muslims or Islamic Dharma. Okay, he is dead and who is that? Bahmani Sultan. Bahmani Sultan made so many wars on Vijayanagar, that is Krishnadevaraya. Krishnadevaraya cannot afraid. He made so many wars with them and they made them to fail. Like this going on, like Vijayanagar Empire glorified. They are celebrating the Dasara festival 10 days with a great pleasure. Okay, Raja sit and observe the 10-day program in a dibba. They created a dibba. In that dibba, he sit and observe the 10 days program with his followers or royal family members. Like this, it is become a glory here. Even today, the world history also tell about the Krishnadevaraya. The Vijayanagar Empire, it is one of the glorified history in the world also. Not only India, in the world, Vijayanagar Empire is like that rule. They are ruled 200 years. Even the Krishnadevaraya ruled 20 years. Like that, Krishnadevaraya glory, we cannot explain 1 or 2 days. It takes lot of days about Krishnadevaraya. In that, very important wars he waged with the Bahmanis also. Bahmanis, Portuguese, they are giving trouble to him. So many visitors want to see the glory of the Krishnadevaraya. Arab traveler Suleiman also visited and he saw and he stayed so many months in a Krishnadevaraya assembly and observed the Raja's administration and explained in his book the plums and the glories of Vijayanagar, how the king and all in his book. Still we can read in his book, Suleiman's book. Abdul Razak also from the Portuguese, he also visited the India. That is, he come to know that in South India, in Karnataka, one of the great ruler, who is called Krishnadevaraya, purposely he came and see the administration, the glory of the Vijayanagar, and he saw the glory of the Vijayanagar and wrote in a book that can be read nowadays. Now we are. It is in a European library also. Such a great, glorious administration kingdom is called as Vijayanagar. Like that, Bahmani Sultans also, after the Krishnadevaraya ruler, his uncle's son, they came to the power, they are ruling in a violent manner. These cannot be satisfied by the Vijayanagar people, so many left from the Vijayanagar, means Hampi and gone away. This very cruel manner they are ruling after the death of Krishnadevaraya. And Krishnadevaraya's son-in-law, who is called as Ramaraya, he came to power, he ruled for 12 years and he wanted to be glorify the Vijayanagar once again. Like that, Ramaraya also glorified the Vijayanagar empire till he is there. In the meanwhile, he is ruling, Aliya Ramaraya. There, the Bahmani Sultan attacked by 4 dynasties of the Bahmani Sultans and made him a war that is called the War of Rakkatangadi. In that, Aliya Ramaraya, 1526, was defeated and make him to kill there. That glory of Vijayanagar ended by the Ramaraya. That was conquered by the Bahmani Sultan. Like that, Vijayanagar Empire came to be a end. Like that, Bahmani Sultans also, Bahman, Gangu, Bahman Shah, Gangu Bahman Shah also ruled Bahmani Sultan. The main important ruler in that was Muhammad Gawan. Muhammad Gawan is giving more important to the education. Our Muslim people not have much education. I want to give them higher education. Therefore, Muhammad Gawan started many madrasas. We can see in Bidar Madrasa. Madrasa means one of the schools, educational center. He is built in Bidar. That was still in Bidar. Unfortunately, that madrasa was become destroyed by the some famine and all. Still, the madrasa contained so many libraries, spacious manuscript books are there, 3,000 editions of books are there. So many intelligent people are there staying, and they given the education to the Muslim people. Like that, Muhammad Gawan given more important to the education to the Muslim people. In his time, so many people who not tolerated his glory, given some unwanted blame on him. Raja can be made him to skip from the South India, and like this, the glory of the Bahmani was lasted by this way. That is we learn. Next chapter comes that is called as Bhakti movement. Bhakti movement means you come to know that Bhakti movement is enriched by once again our Indian saint like the Kabir Das, Bhakta Chetan, Mirabai, okay, Guru Nanak, okay, so many dasas, Purandara Dasa, Kanakadasas, Sufi saint also enrich the Bhakti Panth. Bhakti Panth enrich India once again by how we are giving importance to the religious and social reform. Like that, with the help of Bhakti Panth, once again our Hinduism enriched with his glory. Still now, he is going in the path of Bhakti Panth. Like that, Kabir Das. Kabir, who is he? He is also one of the Muslims. He enriched the Hinduism by his dohes. So many dohes he wrote and giving the path of a devotional path. How to get the mukti. how we want to lead a life with a truthful. Where there is a truth, there is a God. That was taught by the Kabir. There is no difference between Rama and Rahim. Rama is one and Rahim is one. Allah is one, Rama is one. Why we was fighting for the casteism? Leave the casteism, lead a one life. That is called devotional life. Go in the path of bhakti was taught by Kabir. Like that, we are Bhakta Chaitanya. Bhakta Chaitanya, also one of the saint of West Bengal. And he was enriched the bhakti movement by his devotional songs, by his dance. He is moving from road to road by dancing, by his patriotic, by his song, devotional song. He enriched the what is the Bhakti Panth. He had so many followers. Ramanand also one of the followers of the Bhakta Chaitanya. Like that, he enriched the Bhakta Chaitanya, enriched the Bhakti Pantha. By his devotional song, by his dance, he make the people go in a path of Bhakti. Like that, Guru Nanak was the establisher of Sikhism. He is also one of the devotees of Rama. Okay, now he is belong to the first Hinduism only, and when he grow up, he come to create one caste that is called Sikhism. Sikhism was created by Guru Nanak. He also said there is no difference between Allah or Rama. Allah is the same and Rama is the same, said by the Guru Nanak. He also has taken so many scolds from his people, but he cannot come to their way. He is go in his own way, that is Bhakti Marg. And he can go with the Bhakti Marg to reach the God. That is the way he made the people in his path by his book that is called as that book was written by the Guru Nanak. That is called the book for the Hinduism and Bhakti, the following the Bhakti Marga. He wrote so many books to the people to understand the Sikhism. Like that, you come to the Shishnala Sharifa. Here he is belong to the our Karnataka region. He is also a poor family fellow. He is one of the devotees of the God. He said there is no difference between Allah and I don't know. I am belong to which religion. He only tell I want to pray Allah or Ram. For me, both are same. That was said by the who Shishnala Sharifa. Shishnala Sharifa, her own creation of poem, okay, devotional song that reach the people in a good manner. In his own way, he is creating the devotional song. He can roam from nook and corner of the all areas and make to follow the Bhakti Marg, like the Shishnala Sharifa. Next come to the Dasas. In that Dasa, Kanakadasa. Kanakadasa, ordinary fellow. He is a shepherd boy. How he become a Kanakadasa? Okay. He also devotee of Krishna. How he can talk with the Krishna? By his devotion. Therefore, even the Kanakadasa said, we want to be a devotees of Krishna. We can talk with the God by our devotion. And he got, you know that in Udupi, how he was a, he is belonged to a SC family. He is not allowed to go for the temple, but he want to take the darshan of the Krishna. Every day he comes and pray to the God, give a darshan. Okay, you know there's so many God, the Krishna's devotional song you can heard in your Kannada. Like that, every day he comes to the temple and sing a song. God, give me a darshan. Okay, Bagalan Teredu Kodu Hariye, Darishana Kodu Hariye, and Aneka Sati on Bedkunta. Like that, he is singing a song. Give a darshan, God, give a darshan. One day the God Krishna give the wall is broken and give the darshan from the backside. This show that how a casteless boy become a devotee of the Lord Krishna. Therefore, we want to go in a good manner, follow the truth. We also lead like a Kanakadasa. Like this Kanakadasa life is gone. Now come to the Purandara Dasa. He is a dasas of dasa. Okay, he is a father of the dasa, and he also enrich our classical songs. That is, Carnatic classical song was enriched by the Purandara Dasa. Okay, now Purandara Dasa, one of a goldsmith. He is called as Shetty, Srinivasa Shetty. He is very a mean-minded fellow. And very what we say that is called Jipuna. Like that, he is leading a life very stingy manner. One day when he slept in his dream, the God Krishna said, leave that worldly interest, devote on the God. You can become one of the great devotees of Lord. Leave that all worldly pleasure and come out from your house and lead a devotional life. Therefore, he left all the things. He is very rich in his place. Okay, all are salute to him. And he left all the things, his family, his wife, and he came to the temple and lead his life like a saint. Then he made a meditation and acquired a devotional life, and he preached. So many he is preaching to the people, and he is called as a father of the Carnatic classic singer. Okay, like that, Purandara Dasa become one of the Dasas Das. Like this, so many Dasas are there in our Karnataka, and all Dasas was given a shelter by Hindu kings. Okay, by them, these people enrich, and also our Hinduism become very tightened. Like that, these are the things is going on the Bhakti movement. Next to come that the Mughals and Marathas. Mughals means you know that the Mughals are not a proper Indian. They are invaded from the urban areas. They came for the purpose of a trade and settle down in India and lead their life as lead their life in India and made their occupied Indian area and become a emperor in India. Like that, the Mughals, they came for the purpose of trade from Arab area and landed in India and started their empire. That empire is called as Mughal Empire. That Mughal Empire was started by Babur. Babur, one of the ordinary Turk fellow who came for the trade and formed a great empire that is called the Mughal Empire. Like that, Babur also very good king. And first he made his capital is Delhi. Delhi, like that, his son came Humayun. Humayun was, when he was ruling, Bahadur Shah and occupied, and for that purpose Humayun ran away to the Arab area, and after some years make a very good army, form an army and fight with them and recapture the Mughal Empire and start ruling the Mughal Empire by Humayun. After Humayun, Akbar came. You all know that the world history tells that the Akbar the Great, more than all the world kings, our Akbar is also one of the world kings. Akbar ruled with a great interest, And when he is at the age of 7 years, he came to the power. Okay, then he started, but he is not educated. He is very small age, he came to the power. He is beyond of that, he is chief minister who is look after the all administrative activity. With the help of him, Akbar ruling the Mughal Empire. In his period, he is giving more importance to the Hinduism. Even also he married the Hindu princess. Okay, by this he equally treated the Hinduism and Islam. And he is giving importance to the Hindus. They can do the festival, socially, all activity like a Muslims. Okay, in his empire, so many Hindu officers are there. They are guiding the administration activities of Akbar. Even you know that Jodha. Jodha is one of the Rajput Rajput princess. Akbar married to the Rajput princess and made as a Islamic empire. Even the Jodhabai also guided the Akbar how to lead the administration, how to make the people be a good, happy life. Like that is going on Akbar life. Next come Jahangir. Next come Shah Jahan. United Shah Jahan means Taj Mahal was remembering. No one kings are built like the with the white stone. The Taj Mahal in Agra was built by the first ruler in Shah Jahan. Like this, Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan is not given more important to the warrior life. He is giving more important to the religion and art and architecture. After Shah Jahan, Aurangzeb, a very cruel fellow, a last ruler of Mughal Empire. By him, the Mughal Empire was declined. Like this going on. Okay. Next come the Marathas. Marathas also, they are not a ancient ruler. They are also, they only created their own kingdom. That is called Maratha kingdom. Maratha kingdom means you come to know that Shivaji name. Shivaji was encouraged by his mother Jijabai. Jijabai was encouraging the son, we want to create one Samraj. That Samraj is called Maratha Samraj. We cannot bow down to the any king. We want to lead our one king because these Bijapur Sultan and the other invader, they have been giving more trouble to the Maharashtra region. That is Maharashtrian region. The peoples are politically disturbed, socially disturbed. Which religion we want to follow? That was all disturbed in Maharashtra. Therefore, that Shivaji decided to create a Samraj or empire. That is called Maratha Empire. You know that Shivaji, how he made the army. He gathered the local people who were in a forest region. He collected the young boys and made the army. And attack on the Mughals, Bijapur Sultan, even the Vijayanagara also. Like that, he is doing so many wars with the Bijapurs, Mughals, and even the Britishers. After that, when he came to the little power on the age, his coronation takes place. In that coronation, he got the name Chhatrapati Shivaji. And he built so many forts. More than 30 to 40 fort was created. No other than the kings are created such fort in our Indian history. Next to the Vijayanagara. Shivaji created so many forts in there. Okay. Like that. He also very good prime ministers, officer. They are guiding him, giving a lot of force, encouragement to wage the war. Like that, Shivaji become a popular. That popularity was not been seen by the Bahmani Sultan. English, they waged so many wars. Even the Mughals also waged so many wars, and they are misused the Marathas. Okay, so many time Aurangzeb captured the Shivaji. In that captivity also released by Shivaji and came away from the jail and lead his army. Okay, such a great fellow in our Indian history. Another king is called Shivaji. After Shivaji, his son was captivated by the Mughals. They can't rule much. Therefore, the Peshwas were started ruling in Marathas. Okay, the Peshwa Bajirao, Peshwa Vishwanath, Balaji Bajirao, Balaji Vishwanath, Bajirao, okay, and Madhav Rao. Like that, the Peshwas are ruled, and they also enrich the Marathas. And they fight so many wars with the Britishers to protect the Maratha Empire. Like this, Maratha Empire came to the end. Okay. Now, today I end my portion, and tomorrow or next class I continue and give some hints for the 10th coming portions to you, and be in touch with the 9th standard. Whatever the geography you learn in the 9th standard, Karnataka geography you learn. Now this year, same portions of, that is, you are learn location and size of the Karnataka, and minerals of Karnataka, tourist place of Karnataka. That should be continued as an Indian mineral resources, Indian water resources, Indian land resources. Like that, we are learning. The 10th portion is Indian. Previous year, we learned about the Karnataka geography. This year, we are learning the Indian geography. Therefore, be in touch with the geographical lesson by this year continuity. Okay, thank you children. Go on studying the 9th portion. Even you get the 10th standard textbook, little you can learn about. I'll with you and I'll teach about each and every topic of the 10th standard. Thank you children.